I am Ibrahim Traoré, and I stand for the people of Burkina Faso. My mission is to take back our gold and build a future where our wealth serves our nation, not foreign powers. Burkina Faso is a country in West Africa. It is landlocked, meaning it has no coastline. For many years, people have called it one of the poorest nations in the region, but this small country has a big story to tell. It is a story of struggle, hope, and change. A young leader named Ibrahim Traoré has stepped forward to change Burkina Faso's future at just 34 years old. He has taken charge and is leading the country in a bold new direction. His actions could inspire not just Burkina Faso, but the entire African continent. Today we explore how Ibrahim Traoré became the leader of Burkina Faso. We'll look at how he overthrew the previous president and why his country, along with Mali and Niger, left a group called Buchos. Most importantly, we'll talk about how Traoré unlocked $18 billion from Burkina Faso's gold mines. This money could transform the nation. This is a story of courage, hope, and a fight for a better future. A land of gold, yet poor. Burkina Faso is often called the land of gold. The country has a lot of gold, with over 60 active gold mines and many small mining sites. Gold is a valuable resource that could make a country rich, but for a long time Burkina Faso stayed poor, while most of the gold's wealth went to foreign companies and investors. These companies took the gold out of the country, leaving little behind for the people. The people of Burkina Faso faced many problems. How their rivers were polluted from mining. Their forests were cut down. Many were forced to leave their homes because of mining activities. Despite all the gold, most citizens lived in poverty. The money from the gold mines didn't help build schools, hospitals, or roads. Instead, it went to other countries or to a few powerful people. This made the people of Burkina Faso frustrated and angry. They felt cheated by the system. For years, Burkina Faso's leaders made deals with foreign companies. These deals were often secret and unfair. They allowed outsiders to take the country's resources while the people got little in return. The nation's wealth was slipping away, and the promise of a better life seemed impossible. But this was about to change with the arrival of a new leader. In 2022, a young military officer named Ibrahim Traoré changed everything. At the age of 34, he led a group of soldiers to overthrow the President Henry Damiba. This was not the first time Burkina Faso had a coup, which is when the military takes control of the government. In fact, it was the second coup that year. But Traoré was different. He wasn't just a soldier, he was a man with a vision. Before becoming the leader, Traoré was a low-ranking officer. He worked in a small town in the north, leading an artillery unit. No one expected him to. He'd become the head of the country, but when he and his soldiers took power, the people cheered. They saw him as a hero who could bring change. Traoré promised to fight corruption, bring stability, and take back control of Burkina Faso's resources. In an interview with a radio station, Traoré said he didn't plan to stay in power for long. His goal was to fix the country's problems and give power back to the people. He believed Burkina Faso's gold should belong to its citizens, not foreign companies. This idea made him very popular, especially among young people and those tired of broken promises. One of Traorés's first moves was to focus on Burkina Faso's gold mines. He knew the country's wealth was being taken away. To stop this, his government started checking the contracts with foreign mining companies. Many of these were secret and unfair. They gave most of the profits to outsiders. Traoré wanted to change that. His government made bold decisions. He canceled many mining licenses held by foreign companies. This meant those companies could no longer mine gold in Burkina Faso. Instead, the government took control of the mines. They made new rules to ensure more money stayed in the country. For example, they decided that a big part of the gold profits should go to building schools, hospitals, and roads. Traoré spoke to the nation in a powerful speech. He said, "We cannot protect our people if we don't control our wealth." His words inspired many. People began to believe that Burkina Faso could use its gold to build a better future. For the first time, the country's resources were being used to help its own people. The $18 billion breakthrough. Traorés's changes started to show results. Reports say that Burkina Faso made about $18 billion from its gold mines in a short time. This is a huge amount of money for a country like Burkina Faso. Some people think this number might be too high, but the country's gold exports are definitely growing. This money is a game maker. The government is using this wealth to improve the country. They are building new roads to connect villages to cities. They are bringing electricity to rural areas where people have lived without. Power hospitals and schools are being built to give people better health care and education. These changes are making life better for many. Another big move. In the past, Burkina Faso depended on loans from organizations like the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and the World Bank. But those loans came with strict conditions, limiting what the country could do with its own money. President Ibrahim Traoré's government made a bold move using revenue from gold to pay off these debts. This decision gave Burkina Faso more freedom to chart its own path. Still, Traoré's reforms aren't easy. The road is filled with challenges. Some foreign powers and international institutions are concerned about his leadership style. They've called for greater transparency in how the country manages its finances. A few have even threatened sanctions, which could damage the economy. Inside the country, issues like corruption and violent rebel attacks still persist. Despite this, Traoré refuses to back down. Rather than rely on the West, he is forming new partnerships with countries like Russia, Turkey, and China. These nations are open to cooperation without trying to dictate Burkina Faso's domestic policies. Traoré believes these relationships will strengthen the country's independence. Signs of progress are beginning to show. In the capital, Ouagadougou, and in smaller villages, life is slowly improving. Young people chant slogans about freedom. Farmers are now able to get their produce to market thanks to better roads. Families are seeing new schools and health clinics being built. For many, this feels like a fresh start. Burkina Faso isn't alone on this journey. Neighboring countries, Mali and Niger, are also undergoing big changes. Like Burkina Faso, they've experienced military takeovers and struggles with poverty and insecurity. Last year, all three nations made a bold move. They withdrew from ECOWAS, a West African regional bloc focused on trade and peace. ECOWAS had suspended them after their coups. In response, the three nations created a new alliance, the Alliance of Sahel States, AES. Their goal, to support one another, particularly in matters of defense and security.
Ow!
Thousands of citizens across these nations celebrated the formation of the AES. They marched in the streets, waving flags, chanting, and declaring their independence. From ECOWAS, although ECOWAS has tried to persuade them to return, the AES leadership remains committed to building a new future on their own terms. Traoré has become a national icon. Many people now compare him to Thomas Sankara, the legendary revolutionary leader of the 1980s, who championed African independence. Like Sankara, Traoré believes in national sovereignty and that African resources should benefit African people, not foreign corporations. The $18 billion generated from Burkina Faso's gold mines is more than just revenue. It's a symbol that a so-called poor country can rise up if it takes control of its own assets. That money is now funding new schools, hospitals, and infrastructure. It's also helping to strengthen the military, crucial for pushing back against rebel threats and protecting the population. Burkina Faso's story is inspiring other African countries. Mali, Niger, and Guinea are watching closely. They see how taking control of natural resources can lead to greater independence. This may be the start of a larger movement, a moment in history when African countries finally break free from the chains of foreign exploitation, but the journey isn't over. Serious challenges remain. Corruption could undo the progress made so far. Rebel attacks continue in some regions. The government must ensure its policies are just, transparent, and effective. If it fails, the people's trust in Traoré could fade. Yet for now, there is optimism. Across Burkina Faso, people are hopeful that they see a future where their country stands tall, proud, independent, and united. Traoré's leadership sends a powerful message. Africa is not poor, has been kept poor by systems designed to benefit outsiders. By reclaiming control of its gold, Burkina Faso is showing the world what's possible. This isn't just a national achievement, it's a call to all of Africa. The continent is overflowing with wealth, gold, oil, diamonds, yet too often. That wealth leaves its shores without lifting its people. Now, leaders like Traoré are saying, enough. They want to use Africa's riches to build schools, roads, and futures for their own people. As the sun rises over the golden plains of Burkina Faso, a new chapter begins. Miners, engineers, farmers, and leaders are working hand in hand to build a brighter tomorrow. The world is watching, and Africa is ready to rise.